あ。
それではお時間となりましたので始めさせていただきます。2024年の ACK トークスではカンファレンス機能の充実や文化芸術を中心としたコミュニティ形成を目指してアート、社会、そして私たち自身のレジリエンス、回復力について多様な視点から考察するトークプログラムを実施いたします。アートの分野に加え、政治、経済、建築、食といったあらゆる領域からの専門家をお招きし、世界のアートの動向やマーケットの現状、アートを起点とした学びや人々のつながりについて、さまざまな領域を横断する9本のセッションを展開いたします。でここからは、オープニングトーク、京都と芸術、これからの可能性についてというタイトルのトークをお送りいたします。モデレーターを ACK プログラムコーディネーター。
And moderator will be Atsuhiro Miyake, ACK program coordinator and curator.
はい、今ただご紹介預かりました。
I am the program coordinator. My name is Atsuhiro Miyake. Nice to meet you all.
ね、今も、ご紹介
As we just explained, we are going to talk about Kyoto and art, the future possibilities.
文化を守りつつ、
So we want to preserve the traditional city, but also we have a lot of different educational institutes and museums. And then in this crossroad of different cultures, how can we continue to evolve Kyoto as a city?
その相互作用
We would like to see the interaction of culture and art, and then
進めたいと
here are the perspectives of the panelists. And we have 4 guests today as our panel.
いただきます。まず、Nishiwaki
with Governor Takatoshi Nishiwaki. Yes, hi, nice meeting you. Thank you, everybody. So it looks a bit different from my picture, but
18年4月に
Governor, you were elected as the governor in 2018, and then you were re-elected in 2022, so it's your second term. Next is...
先に奥からすみません、行きますね。ごめんなさい。株式会社のお二人をご紹介。
the two panels from MASIRO. First, Amon Kakutani-san.
よろしくお願いします。
Hello, nice to meet you. So, Kakutani-san, this March you have graduated from Kyoto University of Arts, and now you are the director of MASIRO. And then Keisuke Matsuzaki. Thank you.
お願いします。
松崎様ですね。
Matsuzaki-san, you are in Doshisha University. You're still in your 4th year, and then you are the CEO of MASIRO.
そして、最後になりますけ
Finally,
れど、
last but not least, we have the artist Taro Komiya. Nice meeting you.
小宮さんは2016
Komiya-san,
大学院を
you
卒業
have completed your degree, doctorate degree in Kyoto University Art and Design, and you are currently operating Yamanaka Suplex.
はい。では、早速ですね、
So then,
この京都で、
we would like to talk about
現在活動されているアーティスト
talk with the artist, Komiya-san. You are the artist working here in the city of Kyoto. Can you talk a little bit about the Yamanaka Suplex and your artist activities, and also the relationship with the people in Kyoto and their lives? So let's go into the the slides. Oh, I'm operating this? All right. So, yes, thank you very much for your introduction. My name is Komiya. I'm an artist. And I was born in 1985, and I am currently 39 years old.
アーティスト活動をし
I
ており
am an artist. I, of course, am working as a solo artist, but also, as I'm going to show you from now, I have this cooperative or joint studio called Yamanaka Suplex, where we are sharing this atelier with a few different artists.
ここに書いてあるんですけど、
As shown here, in 2014, we opened this place
はです
10
ね、
years ago. And then, right now I'm here, but
本当にここからも
I
割
am
と
living in Yamanaka City, which is in Shiga Prefecture, which is about like 20 minutes away from here by car. And with a few friends of mine, I am still developing this studio together with my friends, and we're gathering more equipment so that it's easier for us to do our activities. So that's the past 10 years for me. And as shown here, we have been gradually increasing the space, and we're trying to make this a nice environment for the artists, but we also wanted to have some exhibits here so that we can show more art, what we're doing here. So hopefully we can run some events here.
体育
So
会とこれまでは
in the past,
アーティストに
we had two artists from overseas, and we had them stay here at our studio. So we have some international collaboration going on here. So this is the bird's eye view.
でちょっとまあ大体
You
今
know, currently we have about 10 artists, as you can see on the left.
僕が
We
まあ
have people who are working on
いるし
dyeing and weaving, some carving, and we have a lot of different media or mediums in our art. But
と呼ばれ
we
る
also have the program directors, which are the curators who will be planning the events for us. So they are our brain.
でちょっと
And
先ほどご
so,
紹介にあった
as I mentioned a little bit, I am from a university of Kyoto University of Art and Design. And then, why am I using this location? Just wanted to talk about the history of how I ended up here. So, this is
京都造形大
it's 15 minutes by car from Kyoto University of Art and Design. And so it's between Kyoto and Shiga Prefecture. It's on the Shiga side, but it was a rock quarry in the past. And then it was also used as a builder's yard to place some equipment, but it has been abandoned for a while. And then,
とかいない
you know, nobody was using it. And so one or a few young artists found this place, and then they started using this place.
スープレッ
And
クスという名
the
前
name Yamanaka Suplex, this,
あのジャーマ
you
ンス
know, you know the pro wrestling German suplex, right? So we wanted to overturn the world, so that's where the name suplex is coming from. And in terms of the media, we use a lot of these, as shown. Like,
まあこれが地
so
図なんです
this is a Google Map view,
ちょっとレーザーがないん
and
です
I'm
けど
sorry I don't
ま
have
あ
a laser pointer, but you can sort of see where the pin is. We have our venue here is around here, right? That's where we have the Takaragaike, this venue here, and then you can see the red pin. That's where we are.
ちょっ
And
と
another thing I wanted to touch on is in Kyoto, I wanted to show how many art universities there are.
潜在的にまあ京都
So
って
Kyoto has a lot of cultural layers. And then, as you can see here, we have a lot of different art universities. And I am from Kyoto University of Art and Design. But in addition to that, we have maybe a lot of different Kyoto universities. And then also, it is very similar. There's a Seiyanzoke University in Shiga Prefecture, which is not too far away from Yamanaka Suplex. And in addition to that, we have other national universities as well, where we have some courses that are around weaving, and then Doshisha University will be doing some metal work and woodwork.
な
And
綺麗
there are many great curators from these universities, so they are working actively around the nation.
でちょっと僕は京都
So, I think I wanted to talk a little more about Kyoto instead of other areas. So one thing I can talk about is Kyoto is it has this downtown, and then there are many artists that will graduate from the universities, and they are all spread around Kyoto, but Shiga area. But because we have a lot of galleries and museums in Kyoto, there are some that can be used by younger people, some that can be used by industrial artists as well.
少しざっくり言うと亀
And
岡
then
のエ
if you
リア
go to Kameoka area on the left, there are many warehouses, and there are many larger spaces, larger ateliers where you need, like, if you need to make a large piece, then you need larger areas, right? And on the south, we have our Kohei Nawa's Sandwich, which is an atelier there. And we also have other studios that are experts of silk screening, like Kyoto Kohan. So it's a great place for arts to flourish. And then, and one other factor I wanted to touch on is
学生として
when
卒業
we graduated as a student from universities, I think the art scene has really changed since I have graduated back 20 years ago. And then ACK, it's been in its fourth year already, right? So when I graduated from university, there were many commercial galleries in Kyoto, but also they have retreated after a few years. And
発表するのかっていうふう
so
になった時
when young artists were thinking where can they exhibit, there were some galleries in universities, and then also there were art hotels that came up, such as Hotel Anteroom Kyoto. And then that was the first one. But after a few years, just before COVID, we started to see so many artists' hotels or art hotels. But then that's when COVID hit. And also, the commercial galleries, the ones that are here at ACK are commercial galleries, but there are also spaces run by artists. And then maybe there are some other designers that are running these spaces, which is called alternative spaces on the bottom right. And currently, there are a few of them still in the town. So if you're interested, please go take a look at those spaces and then take some pictures. Well, we're still okay on time? Okay, let's keep on going. So, I'm coming back to Yamanaka Suplex again. So this is a place where artists, after they graduate from university, we wanted to show you how we are continuing to create art. First thing, we need a place to produce art. And in terms of Kyoto, when we graduated, there were many wooden buildings, and those were cheap in terms of rent. But because they were old buildings, it was really not soundproof. So it was difficult to create art that was using electric tools and whatnot. So when we thought about how these people using these equipment can freely make things, come up with all this wood dust and whatnot, then we had to go into the woods. So Yamanaka, as the word indicates, it's in the middle of the mountain. And we wanted to create this place where it's convenient and comfortable for the artists to create their art so that they can focus on their artwork. So, as I said, there are many different types of media. Some use metal, some use wood, some use stones, and then some create ceramics, pottery. So depending on the media, we made it. So it looks almost like a university, art university, where you have different zones where you can play with different media. And then from there, I'm jumping a little bit in terms of the topic, but we have always been working on our own as individual standalones. But I just noticed that even if you do like an open studio and ask for people to come in, because it's in the middle of the mountain, nobody would come here. So we thought we had to attract people by proactively bringing people in. So we resorted to barbecues. So as you can see, the artists were cooking on their own, and then we would serve the people who would come to see our artwork, and then we would also have some exhibits and the talks, and then the artists would the artists, domestic and international, will have this collaboration, and that we would have these people come over and stay here so that we can have this international discussion. That's how we kept on improving our place. And then that was the Taiwanese artist who came to Japan, this person here. Oops. Artist from Taiwan. And then just recently, after COVID, during COVID, we stopped our artist in residency program, but we were able to resume this. We had this new artist come over from Indonesia. So, in addition to just visiting our country, this artist is a professional around agriculture and soil or dirt. So, we had this collaborative workshop or session with this artist in residence with Japanese artists who are also related to agriculture. So in Yamanaka Suplex, we created this gallery, as you can see. This is our space. And then, I think I'm running out of time quickly, so I would like to stop here. But for artists like us, the location is really important. And also, COVID has really changed our lifestyle and work. And I'm looking at how ACK is thriving during and after COVID. I'm really enjoying how the landscape or the ecosystem is changing or evolving. Right. Thank you very much.
Okay, では続きましてですね。
We would like to focus the duo from MASIRO. You're a really young duo, but you're an artist, but you also do management of art, and you also are operating this place for the marketplace for artwork as well. So we can see how this young generation is working on the artwork in Kyoto. Can you talk about it from your perspective? Yes, thank you very much. So let's go into the screen, our presentation. Right. Oops. Here we go. Right. So we are MASIRO Inc. My name is Matsuzaki. And my name is Amon Kakutani. So, quick introduction of ourselves. My name is Keisuke Matsuzaki. I am still in my 4th year in Doshisha University. I'm in the commerce department, so I'm not a curator, but I'm working on the business side of the art scene. And in my university, I have been learning about how to start new businesses. And I wanted to somehow make the world better, create more value, and improve the society. But during COVID, I was still a university student. While I was in university, we had COVID, and then there was a chance for me, opportunity to look at art, and then I started my MASIRO, and then now I'm working together with my other co-founder, Kakutani-san. And then I'm always working on the business side, and I will talk about this later, but I'm thinking about the possibility of art and new businesses or art in startup companies. So those are some of the main topics I would like to discuss about later, especially about startup companies, where they are growing big. A lot of people think about startup companies are in Tokyo, but I think there are things that we have to do, we can do in Kyoto, and then I think we can capitalize on some of the characteristics or uniqueness of Kyoto. So I want to think about what we can do in Kyoto as a local. So that's what I'm doing every day. Right. So I am at Kyoto Art University. I just graduated from Kyoto University of Arts, and I have not studied about startups or starting businesses, but I have a lot of artists as my friends, and then I wanted to create some sort of a new channel for them to sell their artwork. So that's how I was doing curating and then creating new events. And that's where I met Matsuzaki. And as we discussed together, we really resonated. And then we decided to work together. Right, thank you. So let's take a look at what we are doing at our business. So simply put, we are, there are a lot of younger artists that we work with. If you can see on the top right, they don't have a place to exhibit or place their artwork, or they don't know how to create exhibits. There are some spaces that don't know how to utilize their space for artwork. And I have been an artist myself, and then I understand that there aren't many locations, and it has always been a pain for me to find a location where I can create an exhibit, because they are usually consolidated to galleries or museums. But I wanted to see if we can exhibit in different places, like the hotels we talked about, or Kotani-san talked about. And Kyoto, there are many people who are consuming a lot of art, but there are also a lot of people who are distancing themselves from artwork. So we wanted to close that distance to artwork in their daily lives, and that's why we are working on this business. So we are almost like a dealer or coordinator for the artwork. So we do not have a space. We are just matching with the people who have the space and people who are creating artwork. And we will also help them create the the exhibits. And then we will help with the communication between the artists and then the space owners. So we will try to avoid any common trouble that could happen, so that we can create better events, and then also create more opportunities where they can sell their artwork, and we can also give them advice on how they should show their art piece as well. And if they can sell their artwork to the customers, then we all get a cut out of that. And then everything is, all the transactions are done online. So from the owners of the building, it's a very little burden on their side as well. So in Tokyo, we haven't seen any companies that have done commercialized. I've seen some startups that have failed. So some people told me that it's a failing type of a business. But this is how we do it. We don't charge any money from the artists. We would ask the space owner to come up with how big they want to have an exhibit, or how they want to exhibit or sell the artwork. So we have different plans for the space owners. We can start from 0 yen per year, where anybody can do it, but there are some limitations. If we have artwork sold, then you only get 10% cut. And as you go to the right, we go to the more premium plans, then the exhibits will be great, and then we can also rotate the artwork as well. And then in addition to that, the cut you get once you sell the artwork is going to be increasing. So it does cost you money if you go to the right, but you're going to get a larger cut if you can sell the artwork. So it's going to be, you're going to have positive, you're going to have revenue out of this. We are not trying to capitalize on any one of the players. Everybody involved are going to have a win-win situation. So, of course, the space owner is going to pay upfront the initial cost. But once we can sell the artwork, then we can do some simulations. Say if you can sell this many artwork, then this is how much you're going to make. So this was also exposed on Kyoto newspaper. So I see we got a lot of attention there. So we have also worked with Art Rezone Kyoto. Where we are currently running this event. We have participated in this Kyoto initiative, and then they also introduced how they introduced our business style as well. So, in each of the events, we will have like 1 or 2 art pieces sold, and then we also have the merch sold as well. So like I said, the art spaces will pay upfront, but they are getting the cut. And we can see from the customer's point of view, we can see that some artwork are being sold. So also, we do directions and planning. So we work together with the Daihatsu, the OEM, and we created the art trucks together with Kyoto Prefecture, and ATVK has also helped us out. And then I am on the business side of this company, and then I have been looking at the art type start companies during COVID, and I was trying to figure out how people were raising funds and then how they are doing after COVID. And I was trying to incorporate those learnings into my company. So we were looking at the relationship between money and art, or we wanted to see the quick iterations of startup companies and how they relate to artwork. So that's what we wanted to talk about with other panelists today. And then we are also talking with a lot of people in the municipal government, and we talk with business side people as well who want to start their new companies. So hopefully we can talk about that a little bit. So I'm on the right side on the money type of talk, and then Kakutani is going to talk. He is an artist, so he will talk about how it's difficult to be an artist right now. Those are some of the intangible things. All right, so thank you very much. All right. So in MASIRO, I have been communicating with various artists, and we are working in Kyoto Prefecture, but we also go to Kobe, and we go to Fukuoka as well. And as we look at different cities, what I feel strongly is I think, Kyoto, as well as those other locations, if you go to the wild, to nature, then you can have a really expansive sense when you're doing creating art. We have gone through COVID when we were students, and then everything was like digitized. We were doing work online, and everything was consolidated to Tokyo. I think that was the past few years. So, as the artists all work in Tokyo, we hear that they say it's really wearing down their mind. So when I was in my sophomore year of university, I went to Tokyo, and then what I felt when I was there, the longer you live in Tokyo, I felt the more you need art in your life. When you look at the flow of people, flow of goods, culture, and then the money, it's a really rapid river, and it's really tough to live in that city. And if you look at Kyoto, then we have a deep culture, and we have a great bond between the people here. It's more like a pond or a lake rather than a river. And Kyoto has many businesses that would not take in the first timers, it's for members only, right? Because that's based on the trust you would create between the people there. But if you go look at the pond, and if you jump in there and go down there, and maybe you have a lot lush nature at the bottom of the lake. You may have some grass growing. You have a lot of fish there, and you have a lot of abundant nature at the bottom. That's the same as Kyoto. If you dig deep down, then you can feel that the abundance of culture. So the artists who are working in Kyoto, they say Kyoto is a place where they can accept their artist activities. So the cultural mindset of Kyoto is it really has this symbiotic feeling. They would really take in the city is accepting the artists, and then Kotani-san was talking about how you have your Yamanaka suplex, and also you can enjoy art in the city. If you go to Takashimaya, right next to the Tsutaya store, you can enjoy art in the city as well. So I think Kyoto has all those places. You have nature close by. You can enjoy art in the city, in the nature, and for the residents as well as for the artists, I think it's really easy to have this great art activities there. So, yeah, yep. So, to wrap up my story, that's what I feel. All right, thank you very much. And you have studied in Kyoto. Komiya-san is in Shiga, but it's near Kyoto. So you have graduated from Kyoto. You're working in Kyoto, and you have gone through COVID as a student, and you're not only creating art, but you're thinking about the future of the artist and artwork. So, Governor, what do you think from listening to the panelists here? I think we have limited time, so I'm going to limit my story. But this is my first time meeting these three people, and I have tons of questions, but I'm going to run out of time. So I'm really going to focus on a few things. So at Yamanaka Suplex, you are working on 3D art mainly? Well, let's see. If you include like craft work, we're working on craft, that is art in stone, metal, wood, and then textile as well. And then if you say craft work or industrial art, then some people may complain about it. So I don't want to call it industrial art, but I would like to say it's contemporary art that we're working on that are 3D objects. Okay, understood. And then you talked about how the equipment may create loud noise, but you also have to be able to be near your market, right? So for us, Yamanaka, that mountain is like, it's when you go to the Lake Biwa to go swim. So is that like the ideal distance from the city center? Well, if it's from Shijo, it takes about 30-40 minutes, but there is a bus as well, so we can go door to door to Yamanaka Suplex. But so even if you don't have a car, you can visit us. But yeah, as you mentioned, it's better to be close to the city center, and then it's convenient for us as well. But so for us, it's only 15 minutes to Shiga or Kyoto. It's an ideal location. And MASIRO, I had a lot of questions for you. Just wanted to talk about one. So you are not charging the artist any money, right? And you created this system where you can pay the artist. But how do they receive their money? Yes, so maybe I forgot to mention it, but they may not have their space to make an exhibit. Maybe they have some old art pieces they're like stacked up in their houses, and then they haven't been able to exhibit them. But I think it's not great to put them online. Sometimes it's it's maybe my ego, but I wanted people to go take a look at the art themselves, and then make a purchase rather than just looking at it online. So once there's a sale, then they get the money. Okay, so once the piece is sold, then the artist will get a cut. It's not a subscription model. No, so we're not charging the artists, but if they don't sell, then they don't get any. So we can just show them where they can exhibit their art pieces, and so we are waiving them of the location fee, and they can and then they would get like 60 to 70% of the price of what's been sold. All right. So when you explained about Yamanaka Suplex, you said Kyoto has a lot of different art universities, and then after you graduate, of course, they will continue to be an artist. But there aren't many who can make a living off of it, and the galleries are small, and there aren't many. So many artists tend to go to Tokyo, and us, the governmental section, we want to do something about that. So for good artists, we have this exhibit for Kyoto Art for Tomorrow, where we feature the young artists. And then also we have other events where we can directly sell the art pieces for young artists. And I've been repeating myself a lot, but before the, I know that in the open house, or before we go public, most of the best arts are already sold out. So, and then here today at ACK, we have the collaboration of a very high level. So we have a few different phases or stages depending on the artist. So I think that's one of the concepts that we have been working on. But we can't have the young artists suddenly to ACK because that's a high hurdle for them. So I want them to take baby steps. And but our concept is we want the artists to come here to ACK and then see a lot of different art pieces and also meet a lot of people and create this connections with others. And MASIRO is also working with the startup companies. So I hope they can have this collaborative discussions here at the event and then have a networking session. And then also, maybe just like ACK, other galleries can synchronize on their, I'm starting to see that they're synchronizing on when they have their art exhibits. So I can see they're doing everything at the same time with the timing of ACK. And then that would mean people who come to ACK can also go visit other smaller galleries as well. I think that's going to create a larger movement in the entire city. And then in terms of startup companies, I am not sure if there are many art startups in Kyoto, but in IVS 2024, back in 2023, we've done it in Kyoto last year, and we had 10,000 people come over. This year, we had 12,000 people. We had people from overseas as well. And then the share of Kyoto companies was not big. We had a lot from the nationwide, like from all around Japan, as well as from the globe. And in terms of game and animations, we had a lot of exhibitors, and then we had a bit from arts as well. So this is not for like Kyoto companies, but we want Kyoto to be the venue and then bring in a lot of different startup companies for artwork as well as for gaming and others. So I hope you can help us out in that area as well. So today we have Mr. Kondo, who was my superior back in the Cultural Affairs Agency, and he was saying we can revitalize Japan or the world through the power of art. And the Japanese art scene is too small compared to the national GDP. So hopefully we can turn that around. I think it's important to connect art with the national economy. And then we need players like MASIRO, because the artists are usually focusing on creating art pieces rather than like exhibits or like selling them. So I hope you can help them out as well. Right. Thank you very much, Governor. So then, we are running out of time quickly, so I was hoping I could go through 3 different questions today, but I'm just going to select one out of them, and so that we can talk about that. So that question is the relationship of Kyoto and art in the future. And this is also going to relate to a lot of different disciplines, but you are on the private side, and you're a representative, the individual artist, and I want you to think of how you can, or you are thinking about how you can better Kyoto and the art scene. But you, Governor, you are on the public side, and you have explained how you have a lot of different tiers in your activities. So, this is a great place for the public and private to exchange opinions, and I wanted to ask you what you expect from each other's. Right. So I wanted to talk a little more about the Yamanaka Suplex and our activities. The reason is because we are a cooperative studio, a joint studio, but when we do exhibits, when we plan exhibits, Like I mentioned here, I'm just going to go quickly through them. But so we have the curators as our brain, and in addition to creating art ourselves, we would also get government grants as a group, Yamanaka Suplex. So just wanted to talk quickly on this one, which had high impact. But during COVID, we had to take distance. So we had this drive-through type of art exhibit. You can go take a look at art while being in your car. So even in this restricted situation, if you have ideas, then there are many ways to show art and to show your creativity. And that's not something that you can pull off only with artists. You do need the brains, the curators, and then we also need the art coordinators and we need a lot of budget to bring those people on board. So with ACK's situation, you get the fundings by selling art piece, but I just wanted to highlight that we are trying to we are hoping that the public, the government, can help us out there so that a lot of different related players can also be brought on board so that we can create new scenes. Right. So can you talk a little bit about your project you've done in Osaka as well? Right. So there's another project. Again, I'm sorry, this is not Kyoto, but this is from Osaka. We had this opportunity to use this studio or this building in Osaka for free. And then at the Yamanaka Suplex, we were going to operate this building. But since we didn't have any budget, we wanted to start with a lot of small projects and then get some government grants. So this is what the building looks like. It's called Mine Building because a person called Mine was owning this. And Mine also means like the mountain ridge. So it really goes with our name, Yamanaka. And then we wanted to think about how we can operate these free spaces, rent-free spaces. And we didn't want the Yamanaka Suplex members to think about the ideas, but we wanted the young curators to come up with new ideas. And then these curators, for example, didn't have place to exhibit their work. So we wanted them to come up with the new exhibit plans, and then we would rent the space out to those people to run events. And then also, not only the students at Kyoto, but we also had some people from Tokyo come over as well. And we noticed that there aren't many places for them to express their artwork. And also, from around the corners of the world, we wanted to show what's happening in different places of the world. So we would invite those people over to Japan, and then we had talk sessions to discuss about the difference. And then these are all aired on YouTube as well. And there are a lot of videos that have gained a lot of view counts. So we are not specializing only in Kyoto, but we have Shiga and Osaka, different projects everywhere. And they are all unique and different. And we wanted to compare them, contrast them, and then we wanted to learn from each one of them. So that's how we were operating this other Osaka project. Right, thank you very much. What about you two? Right, me, I'm talking a lot about business side. So I introduced my business a little bit. And what I am focusing on the most right now is, so we had an opportunity to be here at ACK and we see the commercial galleries come here. And we have a lot of high-profile customers here as well. And I think it's, I have one idea to diversify that rather than consolidating everything into one thing. So the reason of diversifying things or decentralizing things is we had we wanted to put artwork and then sell artwork in locations that are not the galleries. I think I want to increase the number of those new places. I'm not trying to increase the number of sellers. I want to increase the number of, I wanted to increase the number of sellers, not the buyers. So that is going to connect to Komiya-san's story a little bit. But there are many curators, art coordinators, who are connected with artists. We need a place for them to express themselves as well. So I'm not trying to earn money. I'm trying to create a city that would resonate with the artists, curators, and I think that's where we are going to see more startup companies come up. And I think that's how you can make the city more interesting. I'm not doing this for money. I don't want people to come in here because of money. I want people to come here because they are interested in what we are doing. And then I hope we can create that kind of an ecosystem in Kyoto. And that's how I feel this like distance with people. I want people to be closer. So I want them to be working together with us. And hopefully we can find more locations where we can increase the sellers. Yes, I totally agree with you. Right. Okay, what about you, Governor? Yes, I understand Matsuzaki-san's point of view, but I try to get immediate results because, ultimately, if you think about the system of economics, then somebody has to come up with the initial fundings, right? And then that's going to be distributed in the society. When you think about that, you have to think about how this funding is going to be distributed, trickle down to the artists. That's where my main focus. So, both of these companies, organizations, you are not directly involved in the art production. You're focusing on creating the infrastructure, especially MASIRO. You're trying to create this infrastructure for artists, right? So do you directly work with artists on creating the platform? We do everything possible. So sometimes I would be like the manager. Sometimes we will have this inquiry saying, we're going to have this exhibit, but would you be interested? And then we are currently talking with our pool of artists. We have about 100 of them. And then there are a few of them where we can talk to them really closely. And maybe some are just working with only one location. So there's a variety of artists. And then they all have different types of needs. Maybe some really want more locations for exhibits. And then we would adjust our activities so we can help them out. But what I think is important is there are artists that they are looking for more locations where they can show their art. So, and we are thinking hopefully we can sell those artwork in those locations. So I understand that you have to have like quick results, but I think we don't need like abundant funding from the top. Yeah, Matsuzaki-san, I see you're an idealist. You're like the textbook player. Right. I wanted to add on to that. I wasn't able to talk about this a little bit in my presentation, but we have installations such as art or objects. And sometimes we create artwork that are difficult to sell, which is our own choice. But there are a lot of art universities, and then and there are a lot of painting that are being created by the artists. But there are also many artists that are creating installations, not paintings. And when we think about where they can express their artwork, if you have a lot of capital going to like one location, then there are sometimes difficulties showing those artwork that are not popular in format. So we wanted to follow up, see how we can follow up on those non-popular formats. And I think the older generations like us, or not, that shouldn't be something that the younger generation should bear. Right, so we're quickly running out of time, so I just have one question to you, about the Yamanaka suplex. What kind of requests do you have for us, for the younger artists to be able to thrive? Do you have any ideas? Right, ideas of how younger generation can thrive. I don't want to rely too much on the government for government grants and subsidies. And I don't think that is like the ultimate answer to just inject money. But at the same time, I think there are people who are in dire need of money. So say, for example, if you have to go to overseas to do some research, then I think that's where money comes in. And whether that's from Kyoto Prefecture or Kyoto City, there should be a lot of different layers and tiers so that people can apply to different types where it matches their best. I hope there could be like a more granular system where people can apply to their optimum ones. And then maybe from Kyoto Prefecture's point of view, if you can see, hey, this part is missing, this type of specific format is not getting enough attention, let's put more money in here. Maybe that's a good way of optimizing the system. And that's something that we all can do. That's something I can do, but that's also, I wanted your help as well. What do you think? From my perspective, I don't think grants and subsidies are the way to go. I think we should be financially independent. And so we understand what they can do, and then we want it to be like the final, the safety net for them, so that when they want to realize something but they can't just because of the social situation, then I think that's where we can use the grant money. And then that goes true for ACK, but Arts Kyoto. But these larger events are things you can't do on your own with individual artist level. So ACK is done by private and public sectors together. So through these type of platforms, we can create this new social movement. And then, like Governor, you were saying how other smaller galleries are synchronizing their events together with ACK. So, I think if people, the residents, can notice that there is this large thing good that's going on, then I think that's going to start to change the city's attitude. And then I think MASIRO's activities are going to be benefiting from that as well. Art should not be only within this like a building. It should be spread out widely into the city, and then the city itself should be the gallery. So I hope to have that kind of a symbiotic relationship between the city and the art. And then I think that's what we have been fostering so far. That's why we are starting to see this new movement. And maybe we can move into our next step or next phase of expanding our city with art. Right. So one thing I noticed is because Kyoto is such an attractive place, the rent is also very expensive. So the spaces used to be much cheaper, but now it's out of our reach. So we are thinking, what are the alternative spaces that we can afford? Maybe they are the hotels, maybe they're Starbucks. So that's what I feel. I think we need an alternative space. All right. So I think there are different patterns. Maybe you need grant because you want to go do some research overseas. That I understand. But if you want to use grant money for us to purchase artwork, I don't think that's a good way. And providing spaces, providing locations, I think that's a good solution. That's easier for us to help you out because we can bring you more people. And MASIRO, you were talking about you have art hotels, and then when I go to new hotels that are built, then I would take a look at the artwork, and then the owners would boast about how their artworks are great. And then we also have a lot of cafes in Kyoto. So until I became a governor, I didn't know or didn't really notice what kind of artwork were exhibited there. But I see that there are many people who are really trying hard to decorate their places with artwork. And there is this cafe called Surround 1094. And this is a really big hit, and it's popular and has a long line, so I can't even visit there myself. But the table, the lighting, the fixtures, they are all curated very well, and then also the artwork are featured there. So in terms of finding new locations, I think we can come up with a lot of different ideas for you. Right, thank you very much. We are currently in discussions with housing manufacturers, and then we are thinking of like different combinations of art exhibits. We're thinking of this new format where we can, where we are redefining this new value of artwork where we can exhibit in the city. And I'm not saying we want all the curators to jump onto this, but I think we can come up with this combination of or collaboration with artwork with a lot of different industries, and we want a lot of companies to join forces. But we also want the municipal government to help us out with the exhibits, sales. And you were saying how I was an idealist, right? And maybe that is because I am I am like I have high hopes for the Kyoto's future. I just remembered one thing I wanted to say. Definitely wanted to say today. I think Kyoto's ecosystem is rapidly changing compared to when I was at university. We have a lot more galleries. We have a lot more artist fairs like ACK. We have other art fairs going on simultaneously, right? So what happens after we do these events? I think we have to think about how we are going to turn this into a culture and then ultimately into a history or tradition. So we have a lot of new artists come by, and then we wanted to see how we can turn this really into a tradition. Because Kyoto has so many traditions, and contemporary art is really difficult to turn into. It's really difficult to verbalize this, but I understand that we have been accumulating 50 years worth of art history, so I hope we can turn this into content and then tradition. Right, thank you very much. So we are almost out of time. I would like to go into the wrap-up, but we had two entities, an artist and then the MASIRO Inc., and we also had the governor come appear today. So we were able to discuss about what public and private sectors are doing, and then what they expect of the artist, and what they expect of Kyoto as a city. And then from the governor, you have also explained about what kind of initiatives you have been working on, and you had gave us some advice to the younger generation. So I think that was a great exchange of opinion. So we would like to continue to have these sessions where private and public sectors can exchange opinion, and then hopefully we can contribute to the flourishing next generation of Kyoto. And also that could extend to Kameoka, Fushimi, Tango, to other areas as well. But maybe we can create this network of collaboration with other municipalities as well. And then ACK as well, including these conferences. We wanted to make this place into a platform where people can connect with each other. So I hope you can continue to root for our activities. And then I hope the audience can continue to pay attention to what we are doing. So we're almost, we're completely on time. We would like to close the session, and then we would like to have a warm round of applause to everybody. Thank you very much. Are we going to have a photo op?